What's up, y'all? This is Jay Watts with Uber Jeep AZ with another video to help you do rideshare a little bit better. Now, over the past week, I really didn't drive a lot. I didn't drive at all, actually. I drove last night for a few hours right before the rains hit. So I just wanted to get out and kind of, just keep the wheels moving, keep the oil going in the car. It's been sitting all week, not doing nothing. But I've been, diversifying my portfolio. Me, Vinny, Cuz, Steve and Kiera, we always talk about diversifying your portfolio. I also do mechanic work. So whenever I have clients that are dropping off cars or doing something, I don't have to go on the road and use all my fuel in my car to make money. I basically stay home and make money. I mean, that's basically what I do. So to anybody out there, if you got a hobby you enjoy, invest a little bit into it. If you've got, something you want to do for business, whether it's consulting, advising, something like that, look at getting into it, because a lot of people don't see the value in what they possess as a person, and they'll just say, "Oh, that's just how I am. That's how I am." Maybe how you are is how someone else needs to be. So you've got to look at ways at diversifying yourself and basically just being paid for being who you are. I mean, I'm a guy that likes to fix things. I like to weld. I like to fabricate. I mean, there was a point in time when was going through a rough part of my life. And I tell people this all the time. I was going through a divorce and all that. I mean, I was down, all the way down to $11.52 in my bank account. This was just a couple of years ago, a few years back. That's it. I was down to $11.52 in my bank account. That's all I had. People on Facebook knew because I had that going at the time. People on Instagram knew because I had that going at the time. And, one of my buddies reached out to me. He says, "Man, hey, I'm gonna loan you $1,500. Get back on your feet." You know what I'm saying? My man Alex, I ended up paying him back like real quick because I don't like borrowing from people. He was the only dude who stepped up and said, "Man, I'm gonna loan you $1,500. Make sure you cover your rent and everything." I was renting at the time. But that lets you see right there, when you surround yourself with successful people and people that want to see you win, eventually you're gonna win. Because I mean, remember, I was $11.52 in my bank account. My bank account today, it's a little bit more than that. Like I said, I'm doing okay. I don't really have to work as hard and stress as much as most people would, especially in a time of doing a recession right now. But I still stress because it's not enough to live the rest of my life off of, but it's enough to, sit kind of comfortable for a minute. So first thing, surround yourself with people that want to see you win. Surround yourself with people that if they see you going down, the first thing they're going to do is say, "Hey, man, I ain't going to let you hit bottom. I got you. Don't worry about it because I know you got me, because we cool like that." That's the first thing you want to have in your circle. Because once I changed my circle, changed the people that were around me, I tell everybody, I own the second biggest property in the neighborhood because of who I surrounded myself with, who I decided to team up with in order to get something like this going in my life. The people I were running with at first, they were bottom dwellers. And when you got a bottom dweller that's comfortable with being a bottom dweller, you're going to dwell on the bottom, because the illusion that, "Oh, my life is amazing, my life is great, my life is this, my life is that," it's an illusion. They're on the bottom. They're not even trying to get up to the top. They're grabbing at everybody like crabs in the bucket. They're grabbing anybody and everybody, pulling them all down because they don't want to see nobody rise up. They'll rather sell you an illusion that, "Oh, I'm doing great, things are amazing, things are perfect," than just being straight up with you and telling you, "Man, I got $11 in my name right now. That's it. I got custody of this kid right here. I got to keep him in school and everything. I got $11 in my name." I was at that point. I ain't at that point right now because I surrounded myself with people who were like, "You're better than that. You were done wrong. You were put in a situation by a group of people who weren't really looking out for your best interest, Jeff. I got you. Don't worry about it. Team up with me and let's make this happen." Got a different team. And that's how things happen even in rideshare. Because in rideshare, if you team up with the wrong people, listen to the wrong channels, you're going to be sold illusions and you're going to be a bottom dweller. Your bank account's never going to change because you're spinning your wheels in mud. I got videos talking about that. Spinning your wheels in mud, doing a lot of inefficient work. I'm a career accountant. So of course, I know how to do things efficiently because I was paid by corporations to say, "Hey, how can we streamline expenses and maximize revenues, Jeff?" They pay me to do that. I run a YouTube channel kind of telling people how to do that for free now. Nobody's paying me to do that. So when you're sitting around listening to different people who don't understand finances, who think it's like not intelligent to really dig into numbers, it's not intelligent to dig into revenues and expenses that you just got to go out there and just work, 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 spinning your wheels in mud. I'm telling you. And there are people who are going to forever be bottom dwellers, forever be changing up. Every time they do something, they got to do something different because what they're working on doesn't seem to work. My mechanic biz worked fine. I ran it for 6 years out of a 3-car garage, made a lot of money, enjoyed life a lot. End up buying cars, motorcycles. I had like 6 bikes at one time. I was buying everything under the sun, fixing it, selling it, giving. I mean, I had so many streams of revenue coming in, I couldn't lose because I was surrounded by people who said, you're not a loser. We know you are worth something. You may think you're just Jeff that works on cars, or you're just Jeff that, knows numbers. Even my son told me, Dad, you should start a YouTube channel. You're too smart. And I listened to this kid because he's a sharp kid. I listened to him. And I started out with like 10 or 11 subs. I'm up to over 3,000 now. To me, that's a big deal. Some people say, well, you don't have 10,000. I don't need 10,000 because I talk to all the people on my page. I chat with everybody. I can't talk to 100,000 people. I could talk to a few hundred here and there, though. We kind of pass information back and forth to help each other. But that's who I want to surround myself with. People who want to elevate, not people who want to sell you some kind of illustration to portray this is how life is. They're selling you shit, and they know they're selling you shit. But that's how they generate an audience. They're clowns. And they sit up there saying, oh, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And the moment you say, okay, we believe you are, show us this. Nope, you don't need to see that. Nope, that's not what you need to see. Nope, you don't. And it's like, but you're telling us this is what you do, and this is what we all do, and you want to help us. So why are you not helping us? Because all they want to do is sit up on this throne and pretend that there's somebody important. They don't want to tell you how to do it, the strategies, the tactics, the efficiency, the intellectual way to get business done. Business is all mental. It ain't physical. If you mentally don't have the business acumen to do something, your business will fail. A lot of businesses fail. So don't feel bad if your business fails. Just means you got to go back in, come up with a new plan, come up with new strategy. That's all you got to do. Some people have no plan and have no strategy. Their plan and their strategy is just to go out and just do something, stay busy. Wheels in mud. We don't do that. Not on this end of the spectrum. We're an intellectual group of people. We walk in and we say, listen, this is how you can do business a little bit smarter, more efficiently. You're using less expenses, generating more revenue, generating more profit. That's how business works. If you want to stay in business and sustain your business, you need to run it like a business. Out here acting like we're employees and we're working for the apps, that's not what we do. We're all independent contractors. And these apps know what kind of contractor I am. Last night, check this out. So I go to pick up these girls or whatever downtown. It was like a 6-mile ride to them for a 1-mile ride, $14. I was like, perfect, no problem. So I get there to pick them up. I hit the start ride. It's around the corner, right back to where they are. And I'm like, did you know you just put your destination is where I just picked you up at? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I change it? By the time she was ready to change it, I had already had another ride linked up like a few blocks away because the app saw me dropping them off like real quick. She tried to play me. Well, if I cancel the ride, can you just take us? I'm like, well, how far is it? Like a mile, 2 miles from where are you going? We're going to Glendale. This is like a 20-minute ride. So they want me to cancel the ride, give them a 20-minute ride for free just because they put the wrong in. I said, no, you can cancel the ride and I can drop you off. Now, I'm a nice person. The one girl in the back seat was like, well, you're going to have this on your conscience that you just dropped 2 girls off in the middle of the street. And I'm like, I didn't drop you off in the middle of the street. I'll drop you off where I picked you up at. Well, those boys are mean and we don't want to be by them. Well, I'll drop you off where I'm picking up the next people because it was right around the corner. So I dropped them off where I was picking up the next people. Business. This is not about, just being out there. I could have sat there and said, okay, well, I'll be busy and I'll be on the road and I'll take you to where you need to go and give up a $40 ride I had set up because these people want to hustle me. You got to understand how business works. It's about efficiency. Now, had these girls offered me $50, $60 cash, I would have gave up the $40 ride. I would have took the 50, 60. But if they would have told me 20 bucks, 20, no. But no, they're talking about take them because they made a mistake. Take them for free. A lot of people spin their wheels in mud just being busy. I don't want to be busy. I want to be profitable. Even if I have to shut something down that I know is a bad transaction for me. This is a bad transaction. Shut it down. If I see something come through for $3, shut it down. $6 for 10 miles, shut it down. Somebody put the wrong address in and wants me to take them. Shut it down. You've got to know that this is business. This ain't nothing personal. This is business. And when you run it like that and you got it up here, oh, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to go pretty far. But when you think this is all about you personally looking like somebody important because you can crank out 200 hours a week and sit on top of the pedestal and tell you know what? You're not really doing business. You're doing bullshit is what you're doing. And everybody can see it, but nobody want to say it. But people know me. I'm the one that'll say it because I call shit what it is. And when I'm sitting up trying to help educate drivers on being better drivers, better business people, I don't want to turn them into employees. I want to turn these people into business people. I'm an accountant that run businesses. So when I see somebody investing into a car, investing into gas, into clothes, I'm seeing somebody trying to start a business, as small as it may be. One employee is them, a one employee business. But I'm seeing them do it, and I want them to succeed at it. But I'm not going to sit up there and sell myself as being something that I can't even prove I am. I prove myself every day. And I do that for me, not for nobody else. I'm not going to sit around and try to sell somebody an illusion of who I am to make myself feel better. When I sat online and said I had $11, I really had $11. I put the screenshot up there. When I sit online and say, hey, I'm doing pretty well, I'm really doing pretty well. And I can thank the circle around me for pulling me up to that point. Because your circle is going to make you strong or your circle is going to make you weak. And when you got a weak circle around you, you've got to lie. And you've got to portray an illustration of things that ain't for real, just to make yourself feel better about yourself. And that ain't me. Now, I think we all know that.